1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters, 1932.org.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And today we have a very special guest. Who's been around since day one, even prior to that. But we never had him on our show. So it's actually it's a pleasure to have him on our show today. Yeah. And we're going to let him introduce himself.
Oh, you're kidding me. All right, I have to introduce myself after that whole thing? Oh, my gosh. All right. I'm adjusting myself. I'm literally coming here in 10 seconds, maybe. Okay, I'm Mark Westwood.
Mark Westwood.
I just introduced myself. You tell them who I am.
So, Mark Westwood is a jack of all trades, a master of none. No, I'm just kidding.
You can chime in too, Joe. There's a microphone in there, Joe.
Yeah. Hey,
Joe never talks on the microphone.
Yes.
It's amazing. Talk on the microphone. It's easy. You just push the button and you talk. No, he's eating an ice cream sandwich now.
And give a shout out to Joe being our board operator since day one as well. We got a lot of day one guys here in this building.
Not me. Day 14 years and some odd days.
That's very true. And the show's only been around for about 4 years, so he has a decade ahead of us here.
Yeah.
And Mr.
I'm Mark Westwood, the general manager of the radio station, just in case you're wondering.
Yes.
And the only reason I'm here is because Rodney Allen Rippey from the Jumbo Jack in the Box days and Nick Dibbs got the date confused, or I got the date confused, and they're coming tomorrow instead of today, and we were expecting them, so I'm pinch hitting as a guest.
Yeah, I was actually really excited to have him on the show. He was going to talk about some very important things. No.
Oh, okay.
Mark Westwood needs to silence his phone.
Yes, I have. And I do now. Anyway, we may have this gentleman on after all, but that's okay. While you're talking, why don't you vamp for me, and I can probably get him on the line.
Okay. Well, let's get this show started with, you know what time it is.
SNJRadio.com, no negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And also Clash City Entertainment.
Yes, so give a shout out to all those sponsors here. Also, West Coast Solar Cleaning. If you guys need to get your solars cleaned the right way, you can always contact them. They have an Instagram. They have a phone number.
Is this your new company?
Yeah.
Just say it. It's my new company. Sam Works' new company.
Okay. Anyways, it's so I started a new company called West Coast Solar Cleaning. There's a lot of people that have houses that have solars that need to be cleaned for a lot of reasons. Just to name them off, your warranty. If you don't maintain your solar panels and you call your warranty to get something fixed, they're going to ask you, have you been maintaining your solar panels? If you say no, well, your warranty is invalid because you are I always forget the word, but you're not taking care of your solar panels, basically.
Yeah.
And for one, a lot of people, if you look up how to clean your solar panels, look, guys, there's a lot of things on the internet that can tell you how to clean your solar panels. And I talked to a couple people who clean solar panels, like, oh, I cleaned my solar panels 3 weeks ago. And I said, oh, yeah, how'd you clean them? And they were like, vinegar and Dawn dish soap. Well, the thing with that, you guys, is if you, first of all, use vinegar, which is high acidic, and the Dawn dish soap, it is going to eat the cells on your panels. And if you want to talk about longevity, you don't want to be using all these chemicals on your solar panels. West Coast Solar Cleaning, we use deionized water. It's a 2-filter tank filtration system, which cleans your panels with just water. Clean water. There's no salts or minerals. You're not going to have water spots on your solar panels. And on top of that, you don't want to send your loved ones on top of a roof, first of all. Safety hazard. Second of all, the roof is wet. You're cleaning your solar panels, and now you're on a wet roof. You don't want to do that.
I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to clean my solar panels.
Yeah. And a lot of times people forget about cleaning their solar panels, right? They're like, oh, we don't have to clean them. you do need to clean them. There's a lot of effects that happen if you don't clean your solar panels. For one, you can have your wires stripped or your wires dangling. You don't even check your solar panels.
You got to get the bird poop off of it.
You got to get the bird poop off of it. That's another thing. And probably one of the most important ones, they're called hot spots, right? So let's say you got bird poop on your solar panels, and
Bird poop on your solar panels. Okay.
and those solar panels that are covered by the bird poop is not getting any of the energy from the sun, right?
Nope.
So the other panels have to work twice as hard to maintain the energy that you're supposed to be inputting, right? Which causes hot spots, which is bad because it's like overcharging your batteries and stuff like that. So always, we recommend, depending on the location where you guys live, you clean your solar panels every 6 months. But if you're somewhere like, let's say, Palm Springs, where there's a lot of, dirt, sandstorms and stuff, then we recommend every season, stuff like that.
So like every 3 months.
Yeah, so look us up, West Coast Solar Cleaning. You can call 909-769-6220.
909-769-6220.
20. Yes.
Even have a
Business line.
business line.
Yeah. And licensed and insured, so if anything were to happen,
So that's one of your businesses, Sam. Now your other businesses, you can rent a car from Sam.
yes. And Mr. Westwood actually rented a couple times from
Yes,
us.
and it worked out beautifully. The cars are new. They run well. They get you from A to B. I took it all over the place.
Yeah.
And I really, not expensive, by the way.
Yep.
And you get it through Turo.
Through Turo. Yep.
Yep.
And also, if we, I don't want to talk bad on companies, but there is a company out there that you can rent vehicles from. It's a nightmare in most cases, I will say. And we actually experienced one a week ago or something like that. And they said we had a truck available. By the way, one of the places were closed on a weekend. Like, they should be open, ready to go.
Yeah, Enterprise. They suck.
Yeah.
Not the one in Fontana. Not the one in Fontana. But I will tell you that the one in Redlands, and the manager is Graciata, she bites the big one. She's terrible.
Yeah.
She's awful. And she's rude to the customers and mean. And they told me they had a truck there. I'm going off now. They told me I had a truck there. I drove all the way down there. I talked to her on the phone. She said I had a truck. I got there. She says, "No, we don't have a truck. I'll walk the lot with you. If you'll sit down, Mr. Westwood, we'll be right with you." Like 40 minutes later, I'm on the phone trying to call the national hotline to see if there's a truck anywhere else. She gets offended by it, and she throws me out of the office.
Yep.
She threw you out of
I
the
wasn't
office?
mean. I wasn't yelling or anything. "I'm not renting to you today, Mr. Westwood." I said, "Excuse me?" So I said, "Well, you'll be sorry you do that. I've just not gotten around to her because I'm so busy right now. But one day, revenge is a dish best served cold. I'm calling her boss. I'm calling a regional director. I may even put a radio spot on. I'm so mad about that. But I will tell you, Fontana was great. Fontana was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got a nice truck, although they didn't clean it because they said their car wash was down. Duck, duck, quick, quick, quack, quack, car wash was down. I mean, when did they start washing it through the drive-thru like that? And then,
Right.
So you know what they did? They handed me, this is horrible, this truck that was dirty. They handed me one of the little wipes from Quick Quack Car Wash.
Oh, they wanted you to clean it?
And they wanted me to, and I did. I did. I cleaned my own truck.
Yeah.
But it ran okay.
Yeah, and with our vehicles, your pickup time is within 2 hours of booking. The cars are always showing up nice and clean, ready to go inside and out. And you don't have a return time. Like, he had to return the truck at like 1:30 in the afternoon. What if he needed it for the rest of the day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With us, you can pick it up at any time, drop it off at any time. It's very convenient, and we're not there in person. We give you a lockbox code.
And the wait in Fontana was still like, what was it, like 50 minutes?
Yes. So with us, if you wanted to pick up a car, within 2 hours, you got a car. That day, Mark and I, it was like a 4-hour day.
I coined the term that Enterprise is like the Kmart or the Motel 6 of car rentals. They are. You know?
Yeah.
Certainly not, Comfort Inn, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Turo, it's a little more convenient and a little more personalized, and you get to drive private vehicles from private, vehicle owners.
And they're clean.
And they're clean. At least mine are clean.
I didn't have to drive it through the Quick Quack Car Wash. They didn't hand me a little wipe and say, "Oh, do it yourself." What the hell?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I paid $76 a day for that car. And by the way, I paid less for your car.
Yes.
and it was nicer and cleaner. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. So, okay, enough of trashing Enterprise Rent-A-Car. That sucks. Okay.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
And then, other things you do. I think you provide some in-home health support services for an old senior citizen guy. And then you are a tartan
Server. Yeah.
at the Tartan of Redlands, a great place to go.
Yeah.
Well, you'll meet Jeff and Kevin and Sandy and
Tammy,
Tammy,
and everyone, Leanne, and all them.
All of them are great.
Great people.
And good food and pretty reasonably priced. Had dinner the other day at Dave's Barbecue.
Yes, Dave's Barbecue.
Pretty good. Still a little pricey. But what about that banana dessert? Wasn't that great?
Yeah, you usually don't get desserts, but when she said, "Oh, we have a banana cream pie dessert," we looked at each other and we're like, "Yeah, we'll get that."
We thought they were going to bring this little dish out, right? Big, huge.
It was like a big bowl.
That's amazing.
Sam
Yeah,
wanted to
that's good.
steal the glass. I said, no, Tam, you can't do that.
Put that as a tip,
Yeah, my dad's birthday was Thursday, and so Friday we went up to. I have a
Happy
buddy-
birthday.
Yeah, definitely shout out. He's 66, and still going. And on Friday we had a like a game night. One of my buddies in Running Springs, so we had to go up to 18 because 3:30 is closed. We went to 18 through Crestline to Running Springs, and on the way there's Blue Jay Jensen's amazing cakes. Like, if what's her name wasn't around,
Cecilia?
yes, yeah,
What's her name?
I-
Oh my
I can
gosh, I
think
hope
of it.
she never hears this.
She's offended.
Oh, Cecilia Johns of Michelle Bakery
Yeah,
on Tennessee
Michelle
Avenue.
Bakery.
Okay, 90 years old, October 19th.
yeah, which
We're gonna
is
party.
the best cakes I've ever had came from her. But
Now you've redeemed yourself a
Yeah.
little bit. And he's not exaggerating, by the way.
no, seriously,
They are just seriously like, it was nice.
yeah. A second, not even close. Cecilia's is the best, but second is going to be Jensen's and Blue Jay. They have the best cakes too, and so we got a carrot cake up there, and one of the best carrot cakes I've ever had.
Yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous. It's always good to say nice things about things that and things you consume and places you visit and restaurants. So we'll that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I was going to say one other thing, and now I forgot. It was so good.
Yeah, Cecilia actually has an interesting story. Her whole life, like,
Yeah, we should have her on.
it should be a sequel.
Oh, you, yeah.
For sure. But the way she did it, because she used to live in Germany and she came to the United States and she went back to Europe to learn how to make these cakes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then came back here and started making
I
them.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so you got some very delicious, authentic cakes that, she worked her whole life working on. So
Cecilia is one of the founding people of Yucaipa back in the days before there was a city of Yucaipa, and it was just an unincorporated area. City was, Cecilia and Dick Riddell and a bunch of people got together, and they met for months and months and months and got this whole thing together and got this ballot initiative passed to form the city of Yucaipa.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, on top of that, she was one of the first customers at Trader Joe's, right?
She was the first customer at Trader Joe's in Beverly Hills, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She used to have cleaners in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Beverly Hills, LA.
Yeah, and they still remember her. And wasn't she invited to be on the float for the
Rose Parade.
Rose Parade? Yeah.
She was on the float for the Rose Parade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took her a couple of years because one year it rained, but
Okay.
the next year she was on it, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah, she has a crazy story.
Yeah, countless stories. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And she brings cookies to my meetings. By the way, speaking of meetings, that's what I was going to say. If we don't, the three of us, say these words right now, we're going to be in trouble with our brothers. Native Sons of the Golden West,
Yeah.
Arrowhead Parlor 110, which I'm the president of, and right to my immediate right is Sam Works, who's the first vice president. And to my immediate left is my second vice president,
Yeah.
Kyle Works.
Yeah.
We have about 150 members in the local chapter. 110. We meet down at 320 North East Street in San Bernardino on the first Wednesday of every month. Except the next month we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner, and then the month after that we're having a Tom and Jerry's party.
Tom and Jerry.
You missed out on that because you missed the meeting, but we
Yeah.
put you in charge of it.
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, you're
Nice.
the bartender again. Anyway, that was one heck of a party. We do have to realize that.
Oh, it was the best.
Yeah.
My fault though. Let me apologize in advance. We were doing eggnog drinks.
Eggnog drinks. That's the
And-
Tom and that's the Jerry. Yeah.
Right. And I didn't know that the eggnog was already pre-mixed.
Spiked.
Yeah.
It already had alcohol in it.
Yeah. And
Some of it did, not all of it. But some of
and
it.
one of the people that were there, she kept going back for seconds and thirds, and I kept pouring in more.
Deborah,
Deborah.
Yeah.
our lady that is around here. Yeah.
She had a little too much eggnog for sure.
We had to pour her into her car.
Yeah.
She got okay. So here's how it happened. I didn't realize it was happening. There's another lady that was leaving and wanted a little escort to her car, so I took her to the car, and it takes me about 15 minutes up the elevator, up out into the street, into the parking garage where we are, and I said good day, good night, and all that, and then walked back. And by the time I walked back, Deborah, who was perfectly lucid and not drunk, was leaning over the bar with eyes spinning. I'm like, what the heck happened to you?
And of course she wanted another one. We're like, no,
No more Deborah.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. So I'm really excited that we're doing another one this year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we are definitely. It's the 6th of December, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna have some good times here coming up. Native Sons of the Golden West. If you're interested, it's an historic organization. It's a fraternal organization. We do a lot of historic dedications here around. On July 4th, we did a dedication up at the Camp Cajon Summit.
Yep.
Over there. The best way to find it is you go to the top of the hill by Cajon Pass. You look to the right, and there's a McDonald's. Joe, you probably pass it coming here all the time, right? He's nodding his head on the radio, and he nods his head. Anyway, he's nodding his head, folks. Anyway, and if you exit right there, it's right Highway 38, 138, and you turn right immediately down the road, and you go past the McDonald's. You'll see this great big monument, and it's the monument dedicated to the early settlers who Cajon Pass didn't have that big, nice freeway down it. You know,
No,
back in the day when people, colonized or whatever you want to call it, entered, migrated, something that Trump doesn't like, but migrating, and they needed a rest stop because the trip down the pass was like 2 days. Believe it or not. Imagine, Joe, if they said, you'll say, the traffic is a little heavy in the pass, I'll be here in about 3 days, because it usually takes 2 days, but it takes 3 days. And Joe travels up and down that pass like 4 times a weekend at least. And, nice freeway, you get up and down it real easy. But that wasn't the day. It was like a goat path down that,
Right, yeah.
with covered wagons and everything else. So historically, that is the place, the marker. There was actually a rest area. It had a lodge and a bar and a hotel. It had a place, stables for your horses, and beer for your horses, and whiskey for your
For your friends.
for your friend.
Yeah.
And you rested for a couple of days before you started that journey, because then once you're down there, you're actually into California. People felt. Before that, you're kind of in the desert coming from Las Vegas, right? No,
Right.
there was no Las Vegas back then even. So that was a pretty hurried trip to come down, across the western United States and across the path and get down there. So that's what we were dedicating, and it's a historic monument. You can actually see the old town a little bit, the remnants of it, because it was destroyed in a flood. And don't ask me the years because I'm really bad at years. I'm bad at years now. But anyway, there's still some foundations and stuff. You have to go down the path a little further. It's like a hike, and then you actually walk under the bridge of the freeway. They don't really like you to do that for some reason or other, through a wash. And then there you are at the old Cajon Pass. But, further up, we put a monument up there, and you can see it. You can picnic right there. You can eat your McNuggets right there,
Nice.
whatever. There's also a Chevron gas station there, too. But that's kind of a neat thing. We do things like that. We also, today, I didn't make it, was what we call our Southern California weekend.
Yes.
Remember you guys did Southern California weekend last year?
Yeah.
This year, it was down in Orange County, and they went to St. John's Hospital with a cleft palate check. Was probably around $150,000.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, donating. It was from the whole order, but the order as a whole, not just our parlor. And that's for cleft palate surgeries for kids. They're not expensive surgeries, but they are life-changing. A kid who's born with a cleft palate has kind of a lip that is misformed, and it makes it hard to eat. It makes it hard to sleep at night. It really is a life-changing, life-affirming operation, and we're so glad that's one of our big charities we do every year. So the Native Sons of the Golden West, you can find more information out at NSGW, Native Sons of the Golden West, nsgw110.org.
Yeah.
Yep. So congratulations also. I'm just doing the show today. I'm sorry.
You are our guest. So.
Yeah.
To the Ukaipa High School Marching Band yesterday had their car wash.
Oh,
It was
okay.
kind of a neat car wash, and they had tubas out on Ukaipa Boulevard. Their tuba line,
Yeah.
like 5 tubas playing to get people's attention.
Nice.
They're going to do that again. But they had a nice car wash. That was good. We contributed to that here at KCAA. We advertised for them, and also on our associate brother cousin stations, KQLH and KFXM as well. So that was kind of a neat deal.
I'm sure they had a fantastic turnout. You know.
I don't know if they had a great turnout, but they did have people are kind of still holding back washing their cars a little bit, I think.
It's all these fires.
Because of all the fires.
Yeah.
But they did, so you still need to wash your car. And what they didn't do was hand you a little wipe from Quick Quack Car Wash and say, do it yourself.
Yeah. And jumping back with these catastrophic fires and everything, you have ash on your solar panels as well. And not only that, I mean, if you think about it, the smoke goes through in your vents, the smoke is all in your house, inside the house. You got to get all those clean. But specifically with these solar panels, and as an incentive, what we're doing is we're taking part of the proceeds and we're going to be donating them to the local fire departments here to help, because they've been out here fighting all these fires. And without them, I mean, lots of lives and houses will be destroyed, And
That's really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about 80% contained again. Hopefully it goes away. Finally, it's taken that long.
Yeah.
They did catch the guy that lit the fires
Yeah.
and lit several other fires too. So, okay, word to the wise. Stupid. If you're going to start a fire, make sure there's no camera around. Make sure that you are not taking selfies with it or other fires. He's in jail without bail, and I think he needs to be there, needs to go away for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Because he's caused a lot of loss and damages and everything else. So, we're glad that they caught that guy, and I suggest the horse method.
The horse method.
The horse method. You tie the front of the body to the one side and the back of the body to the other, and you
pull
slap
it.
bath horses and both
Yeah.
horses, and there they go. But that's
ac-
just my vengeance kind of thing.
I actually saw a video someone took. They're on a plane. They took an aerial view of those fires, and
crazy.
it looked like the world was just burning.
Oh yeah, you can see it from space.
Yeah, you can see it from space. It was really
Yeah.
crazy. And a little fun fact, something that is very mind-blowing. I think it was 2018 when the fire happened in Paradise up north.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
California's deadliest wildfire, not the biggest, but the deadliest. 85 people died in that fire.
Yeah.
But what really got me was at one point in time, the fire was burning up to 80 football fields a minute.
That's crazy.
80 football fields a minute.
Wow, that's incredible.
You can't. Yeah. Try to get in your car. Like, imagine getting that alert, and then next thing you know, you're just.
And the fire's going faster than you can run, that's for sure. Try to run the whole length of a football field in under a minute. You might not be able to do it.
Right.
Some of us, especially me.
Yeah. So when I heard that, I thought that was really crazy. I had one of my friends who had to go up there.
I'd be like the Pillsbury Doughboy. My buns would be baked.
Yeah, it was actually really tragic. And if you go up there today, there's still areas that are just totally like burnt trees or charred up and everything.
Oh yeah.
But the good side of it all is that the ash is like fertilizer basically. So when all the ash and smoke dies down and stuff, it actually
Not a
gives
good way to
nutrients.
mulch.
No, but at the same time, we got to look at the good side of things.
What has happened to this world? And this is just a good question to talk about right before the break, right? We never had these people starting fires like this before. In my lifetime,
Yeah.
when I was young, people didn't think about doing that, destroying things like that. People didn't walk into a classroom with an AR-15 and shoot a bunch of kids or, and 14
Or a movie
people.
theater.
Or a movie theater, things like that. Never even crossed our minds. Where has this world come to, and why are people doing that? Taking lives into their own hand, being the judge, the jury, the executioner, handing down the sentence, and people, relax, chill, be friendly. Let's bring some joy back into the world. some love, some friendliness, like we're having today. We're having a good time, and just kind of pleasant to talk to people, and kind of like we're having a cup of coffee at maybe the White Rabbit in Yucaipa, or
I love that place.
Or what's the other one here at the top of the hill as you go up off of Ford Street? They have another one too by the Stater Brothers Shopping Center.
Dan used to go to that one all the time.
Yeah,
right?
what was it? Oh, and the shop owner's driving down the road going, "It is. I can't tell you the name of it. Stell's Coffee.
Oh, Stell's, yeah.
Stell's
Stell's
Coffee.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of amazing coffee places to go. Especially, it's a good networking area as well.
It is, yeah.
You can literally just sit there and watch people come in, come by, and you see business people walking and having coffee, and it's a good way to have that interaction with a lot of people.
And they won't hand you a wet one to clean up the mess. We keep going back to Enterprise. But I've never had worse service than that, or more mean or more rude service than that. Gracie, or whatever her name was, the manager of that, she needs to go down. Anyway, that's just, what I'm saying. And, we need to get back to, we have elections coming up. And, take a serious look at who you're voting for, and maybe we'll talk about, what I do after the break here in a minute, because that's going to be a lot. We'll talk about me.
Let's talk about you.
Talk about me.
About Mark.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here. You can just talk about me. No, I mean, we were talking about me going to the Democratic Convention. I just took a pause there for a minute. We had talked about it right before we went on the air, what we were going to talk about. And I was one of 8 people elected from 2.2 million people in San Bernardino County that could have been eligible for it to go to the Democratic National Convention. I was there on the floor, 12 rows back from Kamala Harris. Is that historic thing, no matter whether you support her or not. It was historic that a woman has been the presidential nominee. That's already history made.
He was there, boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. And a blackened toe by Lester Holt.
Which he still has a black toe from. I saw your toes today.
Yeah, and I was trimming my toenails. This is something. I'm talking about this on the air, right? And I realized that my second toe also was blackened. That boy had some heels on him. Okay, so here it is, folks. I'm at the Democratic National Convention. We are the California delegation, and there's 500 delegates, almost, maybe 498, I think it is. To be accurate and fair here, only 498. Anyway, we're all sitting front and center because the protocol at the conventions are that when you're the party's nominee state, you get to be right in the front. So, because I think you'll cheer the loudest and all that makes sense, right? And we did. We were a rowdy bunch. So was Texas. So was a bunch of other states.
Alabama was crazy.
Alabama, Georgia was crazy.
Yeah.
Turn back for what? Anyway, and so we're right in front, and that's where the media all wanted to be. And I got a seat 12th row back right on the aisle. It was a good seat. And I'm sitting there, and, it's getting a little bit rough. The press, the social media influencers, everybody's trying to, jam into an aisle that's probably 10 feet wide. And so, all of a sudden, Lester Holt has to step back out of the way. Lester Holt is the guy that is the news anchor for the nightly news on NBC. I'm Lester Holt. Anyway, and he steps on my foot. Wow!
He stomped on it. He knew who you were.
He had these big old wingtips on, a big old heel on the back of him. He didn't mean to. He apologized. It was fine. But I didn't realize it. I got back home. I'm like, look at that toe. It's all black and blue. And Lester Holt from NBC. We're an NBC affiliate, so I can't make too much of it.
Yeah.
But Lester Holt, it's all your fault. I'm going to send you a picture of my toe.
Hey, I guess that's a good conversation starter. You step on someone's toes and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, da da da," and then start the conversation.
Well, and that's the funny thing about it. I've held up my toe a couple of times now and said, "Look at my toe. This is my Lester Holt toe."
All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, but when we come back, we're going to continue having this conversation with Mr. Mark Westwood. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And you guys are listening to Whatever Works on KCAA.
Around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Spear, a licensed agent with Litchfield Insurance Associates here in Beaumont. A large portion of Americans don't have life insurance or don't have enough. Whether you need a temporary policy, something to help with income during retirement, or making sure your final expenses are taken care of, having life insurance is an act of love and security for your whole family. Having a local trusted agent makes navigating through the sometimes complex world of life insurance so much easier. And I would love to be the one to help you. I'm Kaylee Spear. For your free consultation, people are calling 951-769-0005. 951-769-0005.
I'm Gigi Hanna, and I'm excited to be running for District 3 Yucaipa City Council.
As a former elections official and city clerk, Gigi is the best qualified candidate with 30 years experience in municipal government, public policy, and team building.
We can work together for a brighter future.
She'll bring a strong, logical, expert voice to the table for the people.
I want to hear what you have to say as well.
Gigi wants Yucaipa to be Yucaipa, not Bakersfield or Fresno. Gigi loves Yucaipa for its safe, walkable downtown, easy freeway access, and rural feel. Yucaipa's rural charm is important to her. She wants to limit higher density housing, fully funding public safety and making sure our mobile home parks have stable rents and safe conditions.
Let's make Yucaipa an even better place to call home.
Knowledge, experience.
Maintaining Yucaipa's rural charm.
Like Gigi Hanna. Vote Gigi Hanna for Yucaipa City Council, District 3 by November 5th. Paid for by Gigi Hanna for Yucaipa City Council.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau Diarco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E, B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com. Or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
Once in a while, every so often, an educator comes to our school systems with passion and vision. That's Nicholas Dibbs.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Dibbs, teacher running for school board here in Garden Grove Unified Trustee Area 1, and the district cut 10 intermediate school woodshop classes and 4 auto shop classes. We need these classes back so students can have a better future.
This is Nicholas Dibbs' Opus.
Where many schools eliminate their wood shops, a project that they could really dig into.
No matter where you live across this country,
it feels like thrilling to see something that I've done being so important.
It feels nice because I know that a lot of people don't really think that kids can really do stuff like this. They don't think that we can actually do big things.
Some leaders recognize that, others don't. But on November 5th, you can by voting for Nicholas Dibbs.
Please support this effort so we can have quality vocational education.
And that's amazing.
Go to nickdibbs.org, nickdibs.org. Thank you.
Paid for by Dibbs for School Board 2024.
Hey y'all, Merle here. Good news. For once my neighbors is jealous of me. You want to know why? Because my grass is growing and looking green, and I can sit on my sofa out in the front yard, and I don't even have to overwater it anymore. You know how I did it? I listened to Damn Water Boys on the Water Zone every Thursday night on KCIA. Well, I got me a smart controller, and now it waters at night, and my yard looks darn tootin'. No more sneaking around and hooking up my hose to my neighbor's spigot in the middle of the night, and his dog won't bite me anymore. And you can do it too. Listening is easier than ever. KCAA is now streaming online.
It's streaming.
What?
It's streaming, you dummy.
Well, I don't know much about streaming, but they doing it apparently at kcaaradio.com. So anywho, listen to the Water Zone and fix your yacht up right here at KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hey, feeling good, like I should.
Like we should.
When in dark, walk around the
neighborhood.
Feeling blessed.
Oh, yeah.
Never stressed.
Never stressed.
Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Sunday best.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to.
Okay, you guys shut me up. Okay, I'll shut up.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050, the station that leaves no listener behind.
And who came up with that name?
I did.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. that you know, sometimes the most spontaneous moments are the best moments, and that's where you get all the crazy good ideas. And you know, Mark was like, "Hey, you want a show?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "What do we call it?" He was like, "I don't know, whatever." And then he was like, "Whatever works." I was like, we like stopped and looked at each other, and they were like, "All right,
that's it."
Yeah, we'll keep that name for now, and then we'll see if we can come up with a better name.
That was before Kyle wasn't even a glint in our eyes yet. Hi, Kyle. Kyle's best attribute is he has that wonderful laugh.
Thank you.
People would pay money for that laugh.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
radio, when I was a producer at 99.1 like years ago, that was because I was in college as an intern. They called me a producer, right? I was on the morning show. They would point at me, and I would have to laugh.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was one of my big cheap
Wow.
jobs. I got Egg McMuffins for the news guy and coffee for Mercer and Diener. That was who it was back in the day on 99.1. And then they would point to me, and I'd laugh. And then I also did like a Louis Armstrong impression. What a wonderful world.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the Whatever Works show here in the studio. We have Mark Westwood. Obviously, you guys know the guy who's been chiming in here.
The only reason I'm getting by with this is the general manager, but okay.
Yes.
It's kind of fun for me.
Yeah, he is our special guest.
Special learning.
Yeah, and you know, we've been doing the show for 4 years, and he hasn't been on the show. I've asked him every week, and he's like, "Oh,
please."
He's like, "I'm too busy."
The only reason you have me here is because you're desperate today.
Actually, me and Kyle, when it's just Kyle and I, we come up with some pretty good topics.
We do.
You do.
Yeah,
I'll hand that to you.
it's
Props.
not bad. Yeah, thank you.
Props to you both.
Yes. Before we went on the break, we were talking about you going to the DNC convention and all the fun stuff. And one of the thing is, when just a moment ago I said how busy you are. You are a very busy guy. And for you to take, what was it, like 2 weeks?
It was about a week and a half.
A week and a half from what you're doing. I mean, there's stuff that you have to do every single day.
Yeah.
And you had to flip a coin, not literally, but decide if you're going to go or not.
It was a little stressful. I hadn't done that forever since I started working here at KCAA. And you know, and then the reason you probably think it was weeks longer is I came home with the blue flu, they called it. A lot of us came home with COVID.
I see.
55,000 people in that stadium where the Bulls play, United Center, and you know, can't help it. You picked up something, and you know, so me and my roommate, I had a roommate because the hotels were really expensive. Cost $2,500 for that time for a hotel.
Wow.
And we had to pay that ourselves. It was a big honor to be a DNC delegate, one of only 8 people from San Bernardino County in general. And, you know, from the California delegation, there's 53 counties. So, you know, that all adds up when you put all those people together.
Definitely.
So, and I got elected. I was when I found out, I was at the Calamasa Country Club, and Sam, you were with me. And I was looking down at my cell phone, and it's this text mail from President Joe Biden's campaign that says, "Please vote for Mark Westwood, Gavin Newsom's endorsed candidate for Democratic National Committee." And I'm like, oh my God, what the heck? I had no idea that was coming down.
Yeah.
And it was indeed an honor, and it was voted by fellow delegates and fellow people, and I got the top number of votes because of that in my area. With about 65% of the votes. So I was a delegate, and I went, I guess I got to go.
Yes, I got to do work.
Spent a little over $5,000 to do it. So it was an honor. It was a little expensive, but I would not have traded it for the world.
Right.
Would you do it again?
About a week and a half after I had done it with COVID, and I said no. These circumstances were extraordinary.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, when I was elected, it was pretty much assured, you know, that President Joe Biden was going to be the nominee. He had sewn up over 2 million, you know, votes. He was the incumbent. Who would have thunk that he wouldn't have been the nominee? And I'd say about a month later, I was getting out of church at St. Francis Xavier Cabrini Church, where I kind of sing with the choir, and I had turned my cell phone off, and I turned it back on, and I got in the car, and all of a sudden my phone started going blip, 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 blip. And bells and whistles and tweets and Twitters and everything was going off. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it told me that Joe Biden steps down as the nominee. And that at that point the whole game changed.
Right.
The whole game changed, and everybody acknowledges that. And President Joe Biden, I will defend him to the nth degree. Has been a great president. We just got the economic news yesterday. The economy, jobs, unemployment went from 4.7 to 4.1, so it's a 0.6 of a drop, but it still remained at 4 points lower than any other president in a long time, and for 14 straight quarters. Inflation went down 2.7%. The Dow Jones is over 40,000. It's rip-roaring right now. Things are getting better. Gas is down. I don't know if they noticed.
Yeah, gas
we're under
is
$4 a gallon now. At this time in 2020, we're paying near $6.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
crazy.
And that's probably going to go up again. There's no doubt. I mean, we've got a war going on in the Middle East, and we've got that Hurricane Helene, which was horrible, and my heart and soul and empathy and thoughts go out to those people who lost their family members and loved ones, and all the damage and all the destruction done there. The United States has popped up with $27 million, by the way, for aid and help for them. So the government, despite what Donald Trump says, and trying to campaign on the bad situation there, $27 million is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
I'll tell you what, $1 billion is a lot of money, right?
Right.
So let's define billion and million sounds a lot alike, but a million is 999,000 plus one, right? Well, a billion is 999 million plus one. That's 1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how much money has been spent on Donald Trump rallies. 90 of them. Because he's the former president, they have to provide him Secret Service. He just decided to go back to, where's that place in Pennsylvania? I can't remember where he got shot, or kind of shot. Glazed, or whatever you want to call it. Something, I can't remember what the name of it is. Something but personality or something. Pennsylvania, whatever. Whoops, did that come out of my mouth? Did I say that? Anyway, he went back there. This time they had, make sure he wasn't getting shot. They put tractor trailer cargo containers all the way around, blocked it off, tripled the Secret Service, all the Secret Service hearings and all that, all the Secret Service protection. What is it called? Butler. I knew there was a butt in there somewhere. Anyway, they didn't even have a wet wipe. But I'm going to keep coming back to that, folks. Yeah. And they spent $1 billion on that. And then he has the nerve to say that the United States isn't doing enough for the hurricane victims, or that Joe Biden is not responding. And the governor of the state says, no, that's not true. The governor of Georgia says, no, President Biden called me already a day ago and said, whatever you need, whatever you want, if you're not getting help, call me directly and I'll make sure you get the help. That's the way it's supposed to be. And, you're not campaigning on that. So that's my step back there. Let's go about just talk about the DNC in general. So it was pretty awesome.
What was the highlight, would you say?
The highlight was the roll call.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That was the second night from the end. The third night, and that's where everybody goes, normally the old-fashioned way was it would say, Ohio, what do you cast your votes? And Ohio would say, we cast our 35 votes for the next president of the United States, whoever it was, And so we did that. The Republican convention got rid of that this year. They just had their coronation. But we didn't do that. We had the roll call, even though we know how it was going to come out. And so they were going down through the states and everything. And they come to California. California is C, so it's right in the beginning of all the roll call. So we said, we pass. And some of the other delegates didn't know what they're doing. What do we mean we're passing? What? This is a travesty. I said, stop, calm down. We're going to be called upon when it's time to put Kamala over the top to get her number of delegates. And sure enough, that's the way it was. And so, when I was at the convention, when people would ask me, other delegates from other states would ask me, where are you from? I'd say California. And invariably, one of the first things they said, oh, that's the state where Governor Gavin Newsom's the governor of. Yeah. He is a celebrity all across the nation. Gavin Newsom is a celebrity governor. So he was the one that, with Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters and a whole bunch of other, big highfalutin Democrats from California stood in front of the microphone. We cast our 498 votes for Kamala Harris, the next president of the United States. And everything went wild. The balloons dropped and everything. But before that, it was just like a party. We had a DJ on the ones and twos playing music. That was cool. And they'd play a different song for each state, and it was a dance song or whatever. And, we're all dancing and all that. I was getting tired going through 50 states,
Yeah.
And, and I had like 2 feet worth of room, but, it was so crowded. And then Georgia, who do you cast your votes for? And we heard, turn down for what? And it's Little John coming down the aisle, on the big screens and everything.
Yeah.
And he's getting ready to cast the votes, and then they cast the votes. And then New York, who do you cast your votes for? And it was Spike Lee, that sort of thing. Amazing. I saw Patti LaBelle. I saw Pink. I saw Stevie Wonder. Believe it or not, James Taylor was supposed to perform. But the night got so long, and so there was so much applause for Hillary Clinton. On the second night, Hillary Clinton spoke, and the place went wild. I mean, she would say, hi, and there was 15 minutes worth of applause. It was just, they were so enthusiastic about Hillary Clinton and wanted to write, when she had her election stolen, that, we just, applauded, and we were just raucous. And she, come on, calm down, I have to talk, And, that was thrilling. We saw, okay, who did I see? I saw Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama. We saw all kinds of people. The President of the United States, not to mention the President of the United States. We saw, of course, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. She was there twice. One night, on the Wednesday night of the convention, after the convention, we had a California bash. And we had our delegation. We met our delegation. And during the day, we had work to do, and we had caucuses and things. It wasn't just what stuff you saw in front of the TV camera, by the way. It was, stuff that,
off camera
stuff, work and passing platforms and all that kind of stuff. And so, we'd run into people in the hallway, and that was kind of cool too. But one of the caucuses I was sitting like in a few front rows back, about 50 feet away from the podium, and all of a sudden it goes wild at the back of the room. We knew somebody was coming in, and here comes, Governor Tim Walz.
Wow.
And he is the genuine real deal. I really like to see Tim. He really is kind of the real deal.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of Tim.
Yeah. And Tim was, there, and he spoke to us, very plain speak, and it was nice. We had breakfast every morning, the California delegation, in a basement beneath a basement.
Oh, wow.
You couldn't tell. It was all done nicely, but hotels in Chicago have to, put everybody in a basement if there's a tornado or something like that. So they had a basement beneath the basement. We were there every morning, picking up our credentials every morning because we had to get credentialed every morning to make sure we had security clearance and all that. Then we would go to breakfast, and it was all kinds of people, well-known people from the national scene, from governors to senators, that sort of thing. Everything from Governor Josh Shapiro. Governor Gretchen Williams, who was the governor of Michigan, all kinds of people. And then, of course, our local California people, too, as well. It was a Political Junkies convention. And by the way, Chicago's beautiful. I love Chicago.
That's what I was going to ask. What about Chicago itself?
Well, there's a river that runs through that town. It's called the Chicago River. It dumps out into Lake Michigan. Or really, I just learned this when I went there. They reversed the flow of the river. They did this by all kinds of locks and everything. The reason being is because Chicago was polluting Lake Michigan. So they decided to reverse that, and they reversed the flow of the river. It's the first time it's ever been done. And now Lake Michigan flows in to the Chicago River, and it flows the exact opposite of what it used to. But on either side of the river are these huge, beautiful, classic-style architectural monuments to the 30s, 40s, 50s. They really kept the traditions going. And then, high rises from the 70s and stuff, too. Anyway, excuse me. A little bit of that Chicago flu still. No, just kidding. And I took a boat ride down there and then onto Lake Michigan. And it was just so beautiful. The temperature was just beautiful. The sky at night was great. You could see the sky, but it wasn't completely dark. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and the sky wasn't dark yet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in the Midwest. That's what happens in the Midwest. You don't realize that, you California boys. You know, it gets dark here at 7:30 in the summertime. It's dark.
It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
But at 9 o'clock in the evening, it's just getting dark.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's just getting dark there. Beautiful neighborhoods, food. Chicago people know how to eat. And I kept my diet pretty well, Sam. I tell you what, I did, because I couldn't eat much of it. But I got to tell you, Chicago dogs, primo. I don't know. Big, all meat, Polish with a pickle and seasonings and stuff. Nice bun, nice hoagie bun. And then Chicago deep style pizza, I had it 3 times. I had 3 slices in 3 days. But it was just awesome.
You just had to go back for another, right?
And the Chicago people were so friendly and so gracious. There were protesters there. There were. We never saw them. I'll tell you about this in a minute. But when we got off the airplane, me and my hotel roommate flew together. And when we got off the airplane, we walked off the ramp and out of into the main area of the airport, and there were people holding up DNC signs. Yay! And they're applauding and stuff. The delegates always got applauded wherever we went. We were applauded like we were some kind of special celebrity or something like that. And they did that for 55,000 people. Now, it wasn't just 55,000 people wasn't all the delegates. 55,000 people were staffers, were people that worked in the offices of the congressmen and the senators and the governors and all the VIPs and all that kind of stuff too. So that's what made up the 55,000 people in United Center. But in order to get into United Center, and this is an interesting thing, we had to pass through Secret Service and security and everything else. We all rode on the same buses. The reason we did that was for security reasons and for logistical reasons. So we all got to know each other from the different states, because on the bus, it was literally probably a 10-minute drive from the hotel to United Center. But it would take us 40 minutes because they would take us all around this different route. It was secure. Sometimes Chicago has all these underground streets that the trash trucks and stuff go through the wintertime. And so you're under the ground sometimes, looking at the backsides of warehouses and hotels and stuff. It was interesting. But then we would pull into a tent, the bus would. And the bus driver would turn the bus off, and we'd all have to get quiet. And in the bus came the Secret Service. They had dogs. They had mirrors under the buses. They would make sure that, we were all legit. Then we went through 3 different security checks, arms out, frisked, the wands, through the little doors that have the detectors and X-ray you like TSA, so they can see all your junk. There was no modesty there. Thank God nobody else could see it, but the people probably were bored with it. That one. Oh my God, that one again. Anyway, so that was my adventures at the Democratic National Convention. I would do it over again, Sam. That's the answer to that question. But is it already that time?
It's that time.
It says 6 minutes till.
5-minute break. Yeah.
Oh, we have a 5-minute break. Oh, you guys do things differently.
We have the top of the hour.
Oh.
All right, you guys. Well, hey, Mark Westwood, thank you for coming on and being our guest this
KCAA.
week. And you guys listening to Whatever Works on KCAA. I'm your host, Sam Words.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
I'm Mark Westwood on KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Happy Sunday, guys.
Happy Sunday.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
Once in a while, every so often, an educator comes to our school systems with passion and vision. That's Nicholas Dibbs.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Dibbs, teacher running for school board here in Garden Grove Unified Trustee Area 1, and the district cut 10 intermediate school woodshop classes and 4 auto shop classes. We need these classes back so students can have a better future.
This is Nicholas Dibbs' Opus.
Where many schools eliminate their wood shops, a project that they could really dig into.
No matter where you live across this country,
it feels like thrilling to see something that I've done being so important.
It feels nice because I know that a lot of people don't really think that kids can really do stuff like this. They don't think that we can actually do big things.
Some leaders recognize that, others don't. But on November 5th, you can by voting for Nicholas Dibbs.
Please support this effort so we can have quality vocational education.
And that's amazing.
Go to nickdibs.org, nickdibs.org. Thank you.
Paid for by Dibs for School Board 2024.
Calling all business owners, this is your moment. Join us for the 14th annual Connecting Faith in Business Summit happening on October 17th at the beautiful Doubletree Hotel in Ontario, California. Registration opens at 9 a.m. and the conference kicks off at 10 a.m. sharp. This isn't just another business event, it's a gathering of minds and hearts where faith and entrepreneurship comes together. Bakers, SBA representatives, and marketing experts will be there to equip you with powerful tools to grow your business. Plus, we'll take a special moment to pray for your business because we know that true success is built on faith. Don't miss out. Go to ampac.com today to register or call 909-915-1706. Step into your purpose and unlock the resources you need for your business to thrive. We'll see you there at the 16th Annual Connecting Faith in Business Summit, where your faith and future connect.
With 60 years of fascinating facts, this is The Man from Yesterday. Back in time to this time in 1957, ABC TV's American Bandstand, which debuted a few months ago, has beat the competition handily. Bandstand chalks up a 36 share, 62% higher than CBS and 35% higher than NBC.
Now, good people, here's a young lady who's been many times to American Bandstand. Once again, let's greet her and welcome her back. From RCA Victor Records, here's Miss Georgia Gibbs.
From this time, October of 1975, debuting Saturday Night, a comedy variety NBC TV series, live from New York. For the first show, George Carlin hosts with musical guests Janice Ian and Billy Preston.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Carlin!
Talk about a live show. Wow. Nice to see you. Welcome, and thanks for joining us live. I'm kind of glad that we're on at night.
And also, this time in October of 1975, a top hit, Dance With Me, by a new band, Orleans.
Dance with me, I want to be your partner, can't you see? The music is just starting, night is calling, and I am falling, dance with me.
With more at manfromyesterday.com.
Hey, Southern California, you know what's going on. It's my new hit show, The Scene with Doreen, and I'm your host, Doreen Taylor. Join me every week as I chat with my celebrity friends from TV, movies, music, theater, sports, and everything in between.